Welcome to Voidverse, where the darkness of space speaks louder than words. Today, we explore a story that has left scientists silent, the mysterious disappearance of 3I-ATLS, an object that came from beyond our solar system and then simply vanished. Right now, something strange is happening in our universe. An interstellar object once known as 3I-ATLS has disappeared from every radar and telescope on Earth. NASA, ESA, and every space agency that tried to track it lost it. But before it vanished, 3I-ATLS showed us something we have never seen before. When it was first detected, astronomers thought it was just another comet passing by. But soon, data started to show something unusual. It wasn't moving like a normal comet. It wasn't slowing down, and sometimes it even changed speed. That's not supposed to happen. Comets are made of rock, dust, and ice. They move the way gravity tells them to move. They don't decide their own path, but 3I-ATLS acted like it did. At first, scientists tried to explain it. They said maybe it was sunlight pushing it, or maybe the ice was melting unevenly, causing small jets of gas that changed its motion. But even those explanations didn't fit. The pattern was too precise, too controlled. Then came the second strange part, its path. 3I-ATLS entered our solar system at almost a perfect angle with the same plane where all our planets orbit, something that almost never happens by chance. If it came randomly from another star system, the odds of this alignment were less than 1%. Almost impossible. It was as if it knew exactly where to go. For months, telescopes followed it across the sky. Its speed was recorded over 200 kilometers per hour racing toward the sun. But even at that speed, it showed moments where it seemed to brake, to slow down slightly, and no natural object can do that without some kind of force. By now, many scientists had questions, but few wanted to say them out loud. Was it natural, or was it something else? 3I-ATLS was not the first visitor from outside our solar system. In 2017, we met another one, Oumuamua. That one also behaved strangely. It sped up as it left our system without any visible reason. It was long and flat, almost like a piece of metal. But 3I-ATLS was different, larger, smoother, and much more precise in its motion. As it got closer to the sun, scientists noticed that its brightness changed, but not like a comet's tail lighting up. It was steady, then dim, then bright again, as if it was turning, rotating slowly, maybe reflecting sunlight from a surface that wasn't natural. And then came the most mysterious part. Its internal structure seemed hollow. That didn't make sense. Objects in space form by collecting dust and rock over millions of years. They become solid, heavy, and dense. But 3I-ATLS wasn't heavy enough for its size. It looked like it was made with purpose, light but strong, like a shell, not a rock. Still, scientists kept studying, hoping to find normal answers. But then the date came closer, October 29, 2025, the moment 3I-ATLS would pass closest to the sun, called perihelion. That was supposed to be the best chance to observe it. Every telescope was ready. NASA, the European Space Agency, even private observatories, all pointed toward the same spot. But then, something unexpected happened. Just as 3I-ATLS reached its closest point, it moved behind the sun, exactly between the sun and Earth. That meant no one could see it anymore. Not even our best telescopes. For weeks, the sun's bright light completely blocked our view. It was as if nature itself was hiding it from us. When it finally came time to see it again, it was gone. Nothing. No signal. No reflection. No trail of dust or fragments. Just silence. Scientists tried to explain it again. Maybe it broke apart. Maybe it melted in the sun's heat, but that didn't fit either. When comets break apart, they leave traces, clouds of dust, small fragments, glowing gas. But there was nothing. Even the most powerful telescopes like Hubble and James Webb found no debris. Nothing in the zone where it should have reappeared. So what really happened to 3I-ATLS? Could it have changed course, intentionally? Could it have used its closest moment to the sun to perform some kind of maneuver? There is one theory that some scientists quietly discuss, something called the Oberth effect. It's a principle in physics that says, if you fire an engine while you're deep inside a gravity well, like near the sun, even a small push gives you a huge change in speed. That's how spacecraft can save fuel and change direction fast. If 3ITATLS had any kind of propulsion, even a small one, then the moment behind the sun would be the perfect time to use it. Hidden from every camera, invisible to every sensor, no one could see what it did. And when it came out from the other side, it might have already gone somewhere completely different. But where? Some think it could have changed course toward the outer solar system, maybe toward Jupiter, or even beyond Pluto. Others believe it might have entered a new orbit, silently circling the sun, still here, but hidden. And a few think it may have left us entirely, using that last moment to escape at an even higher speed back into the dark between the stars. Whatever the truth is, NASA hasn't confirmed anything. They say, we're still analyzing data. But there's no official update, no photos, no radar signal. Just an object that came from nowhere, behaved like nothing natural, and disappeared at the exact moment no one could see it. That can't just be coincidence. Maybe it's not science that's missing something. Maybe it's us. When 3IATLS disappeared, scientists expected to find something, anything, a dust trail, a faint glow, a single radar echo, but there was nothing, just silence. Days turned into weeks. Telescopes scanned the same coordinates again and again. Every system on Earth that could look into space was focused on one question: where did it go? No one could answer, and that silence became louder than any signal. NASA released a small statement, only a few lines. They said, observation paused due to solar interference. Tracking will resume when geometry allows. But when geometry did allow, there was still no object. Some thought maybe the calculations were wrong. Maybe it came out at a different angle. Maybe our math had missed something small that turned into something big. But that didn't make sense either. The tracking before the disappearance was almost perfect. The orbit was measured by dozens of observatories. The error margin was smaller than 1/100%. For it to vanish completely, the path had to change in a way that physics couldn't explain. That's when the whispers began. Some scientists started asking quiet questions, the kind that never reach a press conference. What if 3ITLS wasn't a comet? What if it was something we didn't build, but someone else did? That idea sounded crazy. Until they looked at data again. The object's deceleration, its perfect alignment with the solar plane, its resistance to solar radiation, its hollow structure, piece by piece, the mystery started to look less like a natural event and more like something designed. But if that's true, designed by who? No one wanted to say the word artificial. That word opens doors that many scientists prefer to keep shut, because it means one thing: intelligence. And if intelligence was behind this object, then it means we were being observed. Still, some researchers, brave or curious, started looking at the idea seriously. One name came up again and again: Professor Avi Loeb from Harvard. He was one of the first to suggest that Oumuamua might not be natural. And now he was saying the same thing about 3ILS. He pointed out something strange: the timing of its closest approach to the sun, when we would be completely blind, was almost too perfect. If something wanted to hide from us, that was the only time to do it. No radar, no optical view, no detection at all. It's the one moment where Earth cannot see what happens. It was like a magician stepping behind the curtain. Loeb also mentioned the Oberth effect, a real and well-known law of physics. If you fire an engine when you're moving fast near a large gravity source, your energy gain multiplies. It's the best way to change your path using the least energy. If 3IATLS used that during its pass behind the sun, it could have gone anywhere. No one would ever know. The idea was shocking, but it made sense. Every other explanation had already failed. Still, the public didn't hear much about it. NASA stayed quiet. Other agencies gave short, cautious answers. Even space, focus media moved on to other topics. It was as if the story was slowly erased from attention. But independent astronomers, the ones with small telescopes, data archives, and no filters, kept searching. Some claimed they saw strange readings near Jupiter's orbit a few months later, a sudden flash of light. A signal that lasted only seconds. Then nothing again. Could have been 3 AIvoice, no one could confirm, no one could deny. What made the situation even more mysterious was something found in the archive data, weeks before it vanished. As it approached the Sun, the object passed near Mars, within 29 million kilometers, a close approach by cosmic standards. At that exact time, several Mars orbiters recorded faint electromagnetic disturbances, weak but repeating in pattern. At first, scientists ignored them. They said it was solar interference. But later, when those signals were analyzed again, the timing matched the moment 3 AIvoice passed by. A coincidence, maybe. But another coincidence, in a long list of strange ones. So the question became deeper: was it sending something? Or scanning? Or just observing? What if 3 AIvoice didn't come here by accident? What if its path through our system was not random, but chosen? Every motion it made looked almost too controlled. Even its slowdown before reaching the Sun could have been preparation. A way to adjust its timing, to arrive behind the Sun exactly when Earth could not see. That kind of precision takes planning. It takes understanding. It takes intent. Some researchers built models, computer simulations to test how an object like this could move that way. Every time they tried to make the behavior look natural, the math broke down. They needed artificial thrust, a small but steady push, to make the data match. And if that's true, it means propulsion, something that moves itself, something that chooses. But still, there's one more mystery. If 3 AIvoice was some kind of probe, why disappear? Why hide? Maybe it wasn't hiding, maybe it was moving on, doing exactly what it came to do. Imagine this: a probe traveling through interstellar space for millions of years, gathering data on star systems, recording, scanning, watching. Each system it enters, it observes quietly, then moves on to the next. Maybe we were just one more stop, one more observation point, and when it was done, it used the Sun's gravity to slingshot itself away, faster than anything we can detect. That would explain everything. No fragments, no debris, no explosion, just gone. But that idea also raises another question. If it was built by someone, who are they? Could it be a civilization older than ours? One that sends out machines to explore galaxies silently. Machines that look like rocks or comets, so no one would notice. That's how we might do it too, if we were exploring other worlds thousands of light years away. We would make probes that hide in plain sight. Natural looking, durable, quiet. If that's true, then maybe 3 AIvoice isn't the first. Maybe it's just the latest one we've caught. After all, space is huge, and we've only been watching carefully for a few decades. How many others have passed by before we even had the technology to notice? And now it's gone, leaving behind only questions. NASA and the European Space Agency continue to scan the area where it should have reappeared. They've used radar, infrared, optical sensors, everything available, but nothing matches its signature. It's like it erased itself. Or maybe it was never meant to be seen again. Some believe that one day it might return. Or maybe it's still out there, orbiting the Sun, silent, dark, watching. Maybe it's waiting for something. And as long as that possibility exists, the mystery remains open. Because in space, silence doesn't always mean nothing. Sometimes silence means something is listening. After 3 AIvoice vanished, the world expected answers. But what we got instead was confusion. NASA held no press conference. There was no new footage, just silence. Days passed, then weeks. Scientists everywhere tried to piece the story together. Some said it had broken apart. Others said it had changed direction. But no one could prove anything. And in that silence, one thing became clear. We had lost something big. For months, 3 AIvoice was the most watched object in the sky. Now it was gone and no one could explain why. The news slowly faded. But inside space research circles, the conversation grew louder. Meetings were held behind closed doors. Data was compared, and new theories began to rise. Theories that sounded more like science fiction than science. The first theory was simple: fragmentation. Maybe the object broke into dust under the Sun's heat. But that idea failed quickly. There were no signs of dust, no scattered fragments, and no glowing gas. Every comet in history that has broken apart has left a trail, but 3i Vidilas left nothing. The second theory was trajectory error. Maybe we calculated its orbit wrong. But that didn't fit either. The data before it disappeared was too exact. Every measurement from multiple observatories matched perfectly. The math was solid. For it to vanish, it would have needed a push, a huge one. That led to the third theory, artificial movement, and that one scared people. What if it changed direction on purpose? What if it used a hidden propulsion system, something we can't detect, something we don't even understand? That idea would mean one thing. It was not just a rock. It's not the first time we've asked that question. Back in 2017, when Oumuamua passed by Earth, the same thought appeared. It looked like a flat, metallic object. It moved strangely, and it accelerated as if something was pushing it. But everyone called it a weird comet and moved on. Now, with three-eyed ATLAS, the pattern repeated. Only bigger, quieter, and harder to ignore. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist who spoke